Right. Oh, this one hasn't flowered. She's going back to the car and she's going to collect me. Probably because the toes are tingly, and yeah, it was AstraZeneca 2 yesterday. Hasn't had a headache yet, but we got tingly toes, so. She's going to collect me at the, wow. I think I'll take this track, because it's more into the heart of the park, and it's, we'll see. We might be able to cross through to the other track, though I don't know. That one's going down, water does flow downhill, so at least I can make it faster now. And by the time she's got back to the car, man, I should be down at the other gate. Oh yeah, look at that, Whiting out. No, maybe that's why it's called Whiting's Road. Yeah. There's so many whiteouts, It's not actually named after someone called Whiting, it's just because most of the season it looks like that. Even more so when it comes right down to the ground. Yeah, I'm just waxing lyrical, fellas, come on. As I said, I'm going to take you out after this week, probably to the burnout between Scott Creek and Mount Bold. I went out there, said a week ago, and it was devastating, I would say. Can absolutely clearly see the whole of the wet wool area going back to film it, so we can actually locate where the spring heads are, or spring head is. Should be able to clearly see it, even though the rains have come late. And yeah, I'm going to have to put this under my rain jacket fairly shortly. Starting to spit quite heavily now. We do know it gets into the camera housing and affects the acoustics. Yeah, Flanders and swan joke there. Oh, backpisters in case we don't get another chance for them. Yeah. Oh wow. We got a whole load of witty grass flowering on the. Okay. For the aficionados overseas. Close up with a flower. I said they're way past their prime, fellas, but if you like them like this. Second week of June for 3 weeks, basically. You got the Witty Grey goes by the second week of June, where everything else goes by the third week. So like Profile is the third week of May for 3 weeks. Witty Grey is the only one that goes by the second week rather than Kangi. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm on spot colour, right? Yeah. Oh, well, it'd be slightly out of focus. Oh well. So, as I said before, June is scientifically our wettest month, but we think it's July, even though we're now basically at the end of the first week of August. And by the 23rd to 26th, we have the bloomsday of August. And after that, basically, the winter wet dies in the arse. And we're going into the dry then. Because the first 2 weeks of August have the coldest nights. And then we're going out into the brightening days. And from the cold nights, you see. So everything colours up sort of thing due to the cold nights and the brightening UV days or thing, going towards the X-ray days of summer or the dry. And of course our hottest month here is around my birthday in February, my George Washington's birthday. Always stinking hot, 46 on average, And whereas in WA and Perth it's January is the hottest month, and then it dies in the arse very quickly compared to here. Here it goes on, and as we say, we have all these artists that fly in for the light in the autumn, because the autumn month is a bit longer here and the light is absolutely brilliant. Whereas we said, if we went on for another 6 weeks, we'd be like the people up in Darwin. We'd be chucking ourselves off of buildings to get that relieving gust of breeze before we hit the pavement, sort of thing. Just it would be like every year they get a few people that commit suicide because they just go troppo, basically. They can't handle the heat and the humidity. It's mainly the humidity more than anything. Yeah, here, as I said, it's a balmy, sultry, 26 to 32 overnight, sort of thing. Round about that sort of thing. It'll be 26 or 28, 30 or 32. It gets really hot, balmy overnight. Sits on that all night, whatever the temperature is. Sits on that all night, and then round about 10:30 in the morning, which is really 9:30 real time, because we're on daylight saving, of course, in the summer or the dry, it starts climbing back up again towards 46 again. So, and between 4 to 6 p.m, depending on how late you are in the season, you'll get your hottest. Aim for about 4 p.m. is you'll get your hottest, somewhere around there. Yeah. Especially as you get later in the season. Whereas over in Perth, as I said, it dies in the arse, the heat, much quicker. You get January's the hottest month, dying off, and then you get the monsoonal rains coming. By mid-March sort of thing, and then you'll have this dry period, and then you'll start getting the drizzly days and the season going like there. And of course, the heat is a dry heat, and also you got the flying doctor coming in, or the Fremantle doctor coming in. If someone says, "Here comes the flying doctor," and you look up, they know you're not local, and well, here we go, got a whole load here. So you can see those flowers. Now the Aboriginal story is, when you have these mass flowering, it tells you there's going to be a bushfire the following season or so, and they can't work out how the plant tends to know that there's going to be a bushfire, following. It's going to be like if a flower mass, Wittigrai, the Aboriginal stories say it means you're going to get fire the next season or a few seasons after, a really bad fire. They seem to flower really madly before a major fire, sort of thing, and they can't work out how that is or why that is. How the plants, what sort of biological connection there is between how do they know to flower before the fire comes, sort of thing. Because their seeds linger on the ground over the summer, you see, whereas Profolia drops its seeds earlier in the season, and they can actually germinate in the season they're dropped. And I think we might photograph this one. Got it. So there's a major biological difference there, ecological difference. Oh, it's got okay, different angle. Yeah, we've got a nice red one there, and a few others. Cartlinger got a meeting. Oh, maybe I took the wrong track. Bugger. Anyway, so you might want to keep that in mind. So maybe I've got to walk along this track to the road, come up that way. So there obviously must be another path to the other gate somewhere off that other track, I would think. Oh well, for another time. Blame it on the AstraZeneca. What's that Shadows tune thing that she sings? Blame it on the, not the boogie, blame it on the mambo or something. The bossa nova, that's it. Blame it on the bossa nova. Maybe we should have blame it on the AstraZeneca. That should be the title of, maybe. Yeah, don't blame the Field Naturalist Society. Blame it on the AstraZeneca. Should be the title of these series of clips. Yeah.